Coming off arguably its best victory of the season, the 17-1 and 16th ranked Columbus State University Lady Cougars take to the floor against Young Harris College here on this Saturday afternoon. Good afternoon and welcome inside the Frank G. Lumpkin Center Herbert Green Court here in Columbus, Georgia, on the campus of Columbus State University. Stephen Williams here with you on Cougar Sports TV as we get set for the Lady Cougars and the Mountain Lions of Young Harris to kick things off in the first of two games in this Peach Belt Conference doubleheader. Lady Cougars 17-1 overall, 8-1 in Peach Belt Conference play, coming off what would be deemed probably their best victory of the season as they went to Greenwood, South Carolina on Tuesday night, took on a Lander group that was scraping the edge of the top 25, had only lost twice this season, but they both were at the beginning. They had won 15 straight games. They had not lost on their home floor or in conference play, and the Lady Cougars picked up a 78-70 victory in quite a hostile environment on Tuesday night. Now they turn their attentions to the Mountain Lions, 8-8 on the season, 5-4 in conference play, but don't let that record fool you because the Mountain Lions are playing their best basketball of the year, winners of 4 straight coming into this one. They have really turned over a new leaf with interim head coach Matt Steersman in charge, and you'll hear that from head coach Jonathan Norton in just a second. We had a chance to catch up with the Lady Cougars boss prior to this afternoon's tip-off. Let's hear from head coach Jonathan Norton. Lady Cougar head coach Jonathan Norton with us as we get set for Young Harris on this Saturday afternoon. Coach, let's go back. Huge win on Tuesday on the road. They went into a hostile environment, a place they hadn't lost, a team that had won 15 in a row. What did you think of the way your girls played down there?
Oh, I was extremely proud of the way we played. I thought we came out with a lot of focus, a lot of energy, and just a toughness. And so, I mean, it was a great environment, big test against a very good basketball team. And we did just enough to come out on the winning side. We rebounded the ball at a clip I've never seen before. Obviously, it was spearheaded by Carrie, but everybody to out-rebound them by that much was impressive.
Let's talk about Carrie's performance. 15 points, 26 rebounds, 7 blocks, and honestly, we both saw it. It could have been a lot more than that.
Yeah, she actually missed a few layups as well because she was in such a hurry from getting the rebound, but just a dominating performance. And I thought it was redemption. Last year we went up there, we win at the buzzer, but their post player really got the best of us, had 30-plus points. So we challenged them this year, said we got to be better, much better defending the post, and Carrie took that personally and dominated in every facet of the game.
And the other one that was good to see was Dee DeShazer. Struggled again in the first half, and it looked like she was losing a little confidence maybe for the first time. And then in the second half, it was just lights out.
Yeah, and like you said, she had struggled the game before and in the first half, and her job is to shoot the basketball. She knows that, and that's what the entire coaching staff told her at halftime is just get out. When we get back out there for warm-ups in the second half, just try to find your rhythm, get some shots up. We got somebody to feed her balls, but you got the green light to shoot it, and you got to believe the next one's going in, and boy, she did, and it gave us a huge lift to jumpstart us coming out of the second half.
It was a long trip back home. We got home really late. You gave them a day off, and you still let them have some rest. And I know it's an issue when you get to this point in the season. So how is that? How have you been able to handle that this week?
Yeah, we're in that mid-season grind, Stephen. And so, we were off Wednesday. It helped, like you said earlier in the week, having that extra day since we played on Tuesday. So we gave them off Wednesday. But that was just trying to catch up on sleep, if you will. And then Thursday we came in here. We went for about an hour and 10 minutes or so with just lots of shooting drills, just enough to get a sweat going and start focusing on Young Harris with the scouting plan. And but we didn't go up and down or beat on each other, and then we watched some film. And then we came out yesterday, and we had to have a good practice for an hour and a half, got after it, and just try to get their game speed back up and get focused on Young Harris. And we got a big test today, and playing at home, we want to put on a good showing.
Do you go into a game like this one hoping, hey, I can manage their minutes, or is it just not even worry about it for 40, we'll deal with it after?
I don't know if manage the minutes is the right way, but yeah, we do got to keep a watch on them, and we've talked about maybe subbing a little earlier and stealing some minutes or two around those media timeouts just to keep our kids fresh. We can't have Michelle Mitchell and Carrie Washington playing 37 minutes a game and expect them to be performing at a high level down the stretch of the season. So we've got to get some folks in there, and we got to control their minutes a little bit, get it under 35, hopefully more around 30, 32, so we can finish the season strong.
Young Harris comes in here today. A little bit different because we weren't expecting them to come in here with Matt Steersman as the head coach, at least at the start of the season. Do they look any different now with him in charge?
Yeah, they do, actually. This team is playing so hard, especially on the defensive end. One of the better defensive teams we'll face holding folks to about 55 points a game. They're really physical, especially inside, big in the post, but physical. They're going to bump you when you cut. He's going to have a great scouting report and a great game plan. He's going to try to take away our first, second options. So we've got to be patient on offense. We've got to keep our spacing, and we've got to have everybody come and chip in, whether it's, somebody coming off the bench and making a three, or post player coming off the bench and getting a rebound, so on and so forth. So they do look different. I've never seen a team. They've come together and rallied during the time of adversity, and they're playing extremely hard and extremely confident as well. They've won 4 in a row.
They play a lot more low-scoring style than you're used to, though. So does that mean you try to push the tempo on them today?
Yeah, we've got to be able to run our lanes and made or miss. We got to be pushing the ball up the floor, and we got to look for our shots. And we know we got the green light to shoot it quick. Defensively, we've got to change up our defenses. I don't know if we extend it full court, but we can go three-quarter court, half-court traps, and just try to disrupt them and maybe create some turnovers and some transition out of those turnovers.
In the past couple of years, they've had LaDondra Johnson, who you knew was getting the ball in the big spots, and she was the one you had to stop. Where do they look to this year the most?
Well, they still look inside. Their 2 best scorers are Williams and Robertson. They're 2 post players, 6'2" and about 5'11", and they're both physical, fundamental. They post so dang hard. They're just going to seal you and duck in and try to bury you in the post. So we've got to be physical in the post. And then both their wing players can shoot the ball. So we got to close out hard on the wings, and we got to do a great job in the post, helping in the post, and not giving them deep post-ups.
Coach, looking forward to it. Best of luck.
Thanks, Steve.
The final words from head coach Jonathan Norton as he gets set to put his team's 17-1 record on the line. The first of 2 meetings between these 2 programs this season. They will match up again later in the month of February 15th, up at Young Harris. It'll be a Sunday afternoon doubleheader for the second go-round. The Lady Cougars, though, playing some of their best basketball right now. They picked up a big victory last week in this building over North Georgia. The victory they had on Tuesday over Lander. And this is a team that really is just checking names off the list right now in the Peach Belt Conference. The lone blemish, of course, being the Georgia College game on the road in Milledgeville. And Georgia College will be in this building 2 weeks from today to give CSU a redemption shot at taking down the Bobcats. The Lady Cougars, of course, rolling into play in this one. Michelle Mitchell working on 6 consecutive 20-point performances, leading the way for CSU, the top scorer in Peach Belt Conference play at over 20 points a game inside the first 9 games. We're about halfway through the Peach Belt Conference season. 9 games down, 10 games to go, and still some spots for the Lady Cougars to grow up and get a little better at. They wondered for a long time what it would be like when they had to get into a tight ball game and shoot free throws, considering this team shoots under 60% as a team, but they answered that call in the game on Tuesday night at Lander. It was a tight one. It was a physical one. There were a lot of fouls, and CSU went 25 of 36 from the line, including Kerry Washington, who turned in a stellar night all the way around, but especially at the free throw line. A career about 37% shooter from the foul line. She went 9 for 12 and really helped carry the load on the offensive end. And as we talked about with Jonathan Norton in pregame, she could have actually finished with a lot more gaudy numbers than she ended up with, despite the fact that she was just 3 blocks away from a triple-double. But she was able to play most of the duration of that one without getting in foul trouble, and they will try to get a similar performance out of her today. If you could get half of that, you know Jonathan Norton would be pleased and would take that very, very easily today. Young Harris rolling in here, 8-8, trying to win its 5th straight. CSU 17-1, looking for win number 4 in a row. First of 2 on this Saturday afternoon here on Cougar Sports TV. Lady Cougars and Mountain Lions in game 1. Then Robert Moore's men, 14-2 on the year, will try to get an 8-game winning streak under their belts as they've won 7 straight coming into play this afternoon. We're glad you're here with us wherever you may be watching from. In just a second, we send it across the way to Brian Solito, our public address announcer for today's starting lineups and your national anthem here from the Frank G. Lumpkin Center in Columbus, Georgia.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to Columbus State University and the Frank G. Lumpkin Center for today's Women's Peach Belt Conference basketball matchup, featuring the Mountain Lions of Young Harris College, who come into today's contest with an overall record of 8 wins and 8 losses. The team is 5-4 in conference play. And your Columbus State University Lady Cougars, 17-1 overall, 8-1 in the Peach Belt. In just a moment, we'll introduce today's starting lineups. But first, we ask that you please rise and gentlemen remove your hats as the CSU Pep Band honors the United States of America with the playing of our national anthem.
It is go time in the Lumpkin Center here in Columbus, Georgia. Stephen Williams with you as we get set for tip-off. The starters for the Mountain Lions of Young Harris: Shaquaya Daniels, the senior from New York; Rachel Harrell, along with the post players, Jada Williams, Sharice Williams, and Peyton Robertson, the 6'2 center out of Gainesville, Georgia. On the opposite side for CSU, it's the usual suspects. Brittany Tatum to run the point, the sophomore point guard out of LaGrange, Dee DeShazer, the sophomore shooting guard out of Tifton, who really hit it off in the second half at Lander, hoping to keep that going. Michelle Mitchell, the conference's leading scorer in league play, along with Ashley Isuzu, who's averaging a double-double in PBC play, and Carrie Washington after her big-time game on Tuesday. Washington and Robertson to jump it up. CSU will control the tip, and the Lady Cougars will have the opening possession here on this Saturday afternoon. 17-1. 8-1 in PBC play. This is Mitchell falling to her left, as she does so often, and Michelle Mitchell strikes first for the Lady Cougars. CSU playing in rarefied air here, and it's not just the Lady Cougars, it's both teams. The Cougars and Lady Cougars have combined for just 3 losses. That is the fewest total between two teams in any program at the Division II level. And as a matter of fact, any program at the Division I level as well. The pull-up is an air ball long out of the hands of Harrell. Mitchell wants to run it. You saw Jonathan Norton in pregame. He talked about wanting to push the tempo when they had the opportunity. And Mitchell's shot rings up a little short. But these two programs have paired for the fewest losses, CSU's men's and women's teams, as Robertson rattles in a 3. Combined for the fewest losses, Division I or Division II to this point. Louisville had 4, Notre Dame had 4, and a trio of Division II teams had 4 to match those groups, but nobody had 3. DeShazer trying to answer with a 3, and she'll bang one home. Didi had struggled so much coming into the game on Tuesday night against Lander and struggled in that first half, was unable to get anything going, missed every shot she had taken, but then really hit it off in the second half and was key in CSU pulling away in that one. Mitchell to the corner looking for Tatum. Tatum's 3 falls out. Isuzu hitting the glass, and she will lay it back in. Ashley Isuzu with 2 makes it a 7-3 game. Ashley doing great work in Peach Belt Conference play, averaging 12 points and 11 rebounds in conference play. Young Harris on a 4-game winning streak, able to get one into Robertson. You heard Jonathan Norton talk about her in the pregame. Robertson, the leading scorer for this team, averaging 10 points a game, averaging 12, though, in conference action. This is not a high-scoring Young Harris group. They average just 56 points a game. That one last touched by the Mountain Lions, so it will stay with CSU. Lady Cougars with the early 7-5 edge. Trying to put 4 straight wins on the board after they took their only loss 2 weeks ago. Isuzu spins to the rim, didn't get it to go. Carey had the rebound for a moment, and knocked away from her, and she'll keep it. So CSU with a fresh shot clock will go to work. Harrell chasing DeShazer off the three-point line, and her runner bounces too hard and rattled off. Daniels trying to push the tempo. Drops it off. Williams underneath, and this is Sharice Williams. And Sharice Williams has leveled the game at 7-all. It's a scrappy Young Harris bunch. Played Lander tough in Greenwood when they were there. Of course, they started the season with Brenda Paul, the longtime head coach. She was relieved of those duties early in the season as DeShazer hits another one from beyond the arc. So Matt Steersman, the assistant coach at the time, slid into the interim head coach role. And this team's 5-5 under his leadership, but 4 consecutive victories. DeShazer already now with a pair of 3s, getting things going, and there is an and one on the opposite end for the Mountain Lions. Sharice Williams able to lay it in and draw the foul. Carrie Washington picked up the foul, and she will come out. Just her first. So it will send Sharice Williams, the senior out of Buford, Georgia, to the line where she's able to finish off the three-point play. Alexis Woods into the game in place of Carrie Washington, playing the 5 position. Woods with it out top, works it around. 4 minutes gone by, all tied at 10. This one higher scoring, though, than the Mountain Lions would like it to be. Mitchell got around the first defender and off the glass, her trademark bank shot from the left. Williams puts it on the floor, and that time took a step before she dribbled, turned it over, and it will take us to immediate timeout. 15:43 to play in the opening half. 12-10, CSU holding the 2-point edge. Columbus State out to a 12-10 edge. 4 minutes and change gone by in this first half. Lady Cougars 5 of 10 from the field, and they turn it over. The pass from Isuzu too tall for DeShazer on the wing. And it sailed off her hands and out of bounds. Young Harris with some new faces into the game. For the Mountain Lions, Jasmine Knight, the freshman from Sandersville, out there. As is Virginia Scott and also Brianna Bell. Robertson and Sharice Williams stayed in the game. They get it to Robinson, working around a pair of defenders, and the backside board belongs to Tatum. DeShazer looking for her third. Hits it off the front rim. The rebound pulled down, and they'll run with Knight. This is Bell. Double teamed as Mitchell came to help. Robertson lost it for a moment. And they're going to hit CSU with a reach-in foul. It'll go on Brittany Tatum. It'll be her first. Carrie Washington coming back. Alexis Woods will come off the floor. Underneath, Sharice Williams has been a problem already for CSU, and she has 7 and has tied this one up at 12 all. Williams and Robertson, all the points for Young Harris. That's what Jonathan Norton said would happen. Short corner, Isuzu. Ashley Isuzu now with 4, and that is the shot. You watch her in the gym when she's all by herself. That one is the one she's working on over and over again. Over the top, Robertson left it short. Washington changed the shot. CSU pushing the tempo again. Mitchell gets it on the left side, blows by Williams and knocks it down. Michelle Mitchell with 6. Mitchell averaging now 19 points a game while shooting 46% from the field, and she's not one that gets it by the three-point shot. She's earning every last one of those points. 4-point edge, 16-12. The kick out, Robertson already has one from downtown, and give her another, and that time Carrie Washington right there in her face, but Robertson showing that she can step out and hit it from 20 feet. 8 for Robertson, 7 for Williams for all 15 of the Mountain Lion points. Young Harris sloughing off now into a 2-3 zone look. Isuzu needs help. Shot clock to 10. DeShazer from long range, buried it. Nice when you can have somebody bail you out from long distance, and DeShazer, I'd say the stroke is back. Dede hit that one from at least 4 feet beyond the arc. 9 for her. Scott puts it on the deck, drove right around Mitchell into the glass, and Young Harris showing some offensive proficiency that they have not done very often this season. Again, averaging just 56 points a game, and they are on pace to shatter that here today. Over the top, Washington lost it, thought she was held up by Robertson, but off of her hands and out. Pair of Young Harris subs in. Casey Cash, the senior from Woodstock. And then also Chan Fan, the senior from Warner Robins, in for the first time. Aaron Cochran into the game for CSU, gives Brittany Tatum some rest. Scott drove to the rim, and she is fouled on the way there. Ashley Isuzu called for the foul. That's her first. Third against CSU, and that will send Virginia Scott, the freshman out of Somerset, Kentucky, to the line for a pair. Harrell comes back for the Mountain Lions. Aaron Morrow in for the first time for CSU. Freshman from Johns Creek. Scott at the line to finish off the 2 shots, averaging just 5 points a game, but has 4 now as she rolls that one in. All tied at 19, nearly 8 minutes in here on Cougar Sports TV. They drop it down low to Cochran. Cochran in traffic, lost it. Young Harris comes away and they run. Coast to coast, the shot doesn't go down. Rebound for Fan. The stick back doesn't go. And Kerry Washington trying to snatch it away, lost into the CSU bench, and it'll be Lady Cougar basketball. Young Harris putting up an early fight here on a Saturday afternoon inside the Lumpkin Center. 11:52 to go, timeout on the floor. 19 all here on Cougar Sports TV. $19 all where we stand. Lady Cougars and Mountain Lions of Young Harris tied. 11:40 to play in this first half. Cochran on the kick out. Up and out. And last touched by Washington. Clean look for Aaron Cochran, but unable to knock it down. Lady Cougars now 8 of 15 from the field, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. 7 of 12 on the opposite side for Young Harris. They've made their only 2 3-point attempts. This one just inside the arc gives Young Harris the lead. Virginia Scott having a nice afternoon, already with 6. Yumika Henry into the game for CSU, drops it underneath for Washington. Cochran will get a second look, and this one is pure. Aaron Cochran had the first one rattle out. The second one touches nothing on its way through. First points of the day for the freshman from Hiawassee, who every time out on the floor now, you can just see the confidence starting to grow. Harrell tries to answer, doesn't do it, and Cochran with a good box out. DeShazer for a fourth, goes down. Shooting woes gone for Dee DeShazer, who has 4 threes in this first half. 4 of 5 for the sophomore out of Tifton. And now a foul on the ball goes against Yumika Henry. It'll be her first. Dee DeShazer, though, shooting woes are gone, as she is doing exactly what they expect out of her now, just lighting it up from downtown. You heard Jonathan Norton talk about it in pregame. They are going to continue to feed a shooter and feed her and feed her and feed her. Long kick out, Scott with it. Dropping it into the short corner. This is Fan, hemmed up in a double team, and Washington took it away. Carey will lead it, but no numbers. Will have to drop it off. Underneath, threading the needle that time was Cochran, and Isuzu had it knocked away from her. Great look that time from the freshman. Dropped it on a dime, but Ashley had it knocked away at the last second. Lady Cougar basketball, 23 on the shot clock, 10:08 on the game clock. They get it in underneath. Washington +1. Kerry Washington getting in the scoring column for the first time as CSU has its largest lead of the day, working on an 8-0 run. Foul went on Sharice Williams. It was her first. That was the first that the Mountain Lions have committed on the afternoon. CSU doing a nice job with its double team, trapping players near midcourt. Into the corner, the pass deflected. Cochran got a hand on it. It'll stay with Young Harris with 9:50 to go, 15 on the shot clock. (27-21). Somebody's win streak ends this afternoon. Young Harris's is at 4, CSU's is at 3. Underneath, Cash had it knocked away by Washington. CSU looking to run. DeShazer is open. They recover quickly, though, to keep her from shooting it. Cochran gets the shot. Hits it off the back rim. Young Harris dodges a bullet there as CSU was threatening to make it a 9-point game. And Cochran again getting in the passing lane and deflecting one away. Trio of subs for the Lady Cougars. Bria Walker in for the first time, and Mitchell and Tatum return. On the opposite side, Brianna Bell back in, as is Shaquaya Daniels. Alexis Woods comes back in for Kerry Washington. So Jonathan Norton being a little more loose with his subs in this first half as he tries to watch some of the minutes that some of these players are getting during this conference season. Williams. Off left, this is Bell with it. They get Scott off a screen. Scott drove around Tatum, too strong though, and Mitchell has the rebound. And Mitchell had it knocked away from her, tried to save it in bounds, stepped out. And a turnover right in front of us. We'll give it back to Young Harris. So still a 6-point game at 27-21. CSU, though, still working on an 8-0 run after they fell behind 21-19. Lady Cougars already 2 full games clear of second place in the PBC West Division. Williams that time just went to the ground and traveled, tried to draw contact, but there wasn't any. Woods out, Washington back in for CSU. Lady Cougars, though, 8-1 in conference play. Clayton State and North Georgia in a tie for second at the moment. They are 6-3 apiece, and they're actually playing each other this afternoon. So CSU, with a victory today, would be 2 clear of 1 and 3 games up on the other. Tatum will launch, and Brittany Tatum connects from downtown. 6th 3 of the first half for the Lady Cougars, who have found the shooting proficiency in this first 12 minutes. 6 of 10 from distance for CSU, and that one barely drew anything. Way too strong from Scott. Lady Cougars forcing the tempo on a bad pass. Tatum threw it right into the hands of Daniels. Robertson running the floor around Isuzu, and Peyton Robertson puts an end to what was an 11-0 CSU run. 10 for Robertson, who's the first Mountain Lion into double figures. Didi DeShazer is the game leader. She has 12. Walker off a screen. Defender flies by, and Bria Walker hits as Matt Steersman just throws his hands in the air with a "what can you do about it" look. 7 3-pointers in this first half. CSU putting on a shooting clinic. Over the top, they throw it underneath. Sharice Williams will draw the foul on Ashley Isuzu, and that's going to be the sophomore's second. 7:23 to play in this first half. CSU lighting it up from downtown. 7 of 11 for the Lady Cougars, and they have a 10-point edge. 33-23 here on Cougar Sports TV. Stephen Williams back here with you on Cougar Sports TV. 33-23, already a 10-point lead for Columbus State. Sharice Williams, though, at the line, able to bring it back inside of double figures. Lady Cougars now 7 of 11 from the three-point line. 4 different players have connected. And CSU had made it a 10-point game before those free throws. Lady Cougars shooting a cool 62% from the field this afternoon. Tatum drives to the rim, the kick out. Walker gets another clean look. 8 from downtown for CSU. Everything going down for the Lady Cougars in this first half. 8 for 12. And it's an 11-point game, largest lead of the day. Daniels missed it, a little strong. Cash's follow bounces right back into her hands. Third chance at it, and she'll finally muscle it in. Cash with her first basket brings it back to a 9-point game. Michelle Mitchell with just 6 points in this first half, and CSU, it doesn't matter. 36 as a team. Walker will take another. That one missed off to the left. Not quite as set as she had been for the first 2 that she made. Six minutes remaining in this first half. 36-27. CSU staring at potentially another 50-point first half. Scramble for the rebound on the floor, and eventually there needs to be some kind of whistle. They just sat there forever with it before the referee blew it. The possession arrow in favor of the Mountain Lions. CSU already has a pair of 50-point halves this season. They had 57 against Tuskegee earlier this year in the only game they scored 100 points. Then they put 55 on North Georgia in this building 10 days ago. This is not the pace that Matt Steersman and Young Harris wanted to play this game at, considering the fact they don't score very much per game. CSU, the second leading scoring team in the conference. Young Harris down around the bottom. Mitchell with the steal. Washington running the floor and missed another easy layup. Mitchell there on the backside, though, to follow it. That has been Carey's sticking point this season, is missing some right there in front of the rim. But Michelle Mitchell to bail him out. She has 8. Long 2 from Knight. Bounces around, tipped into the air, and Mitchell snatches it. CSU not going to back off the gas pedal. Mitchell spinning, had it blocked, but she's headed to the line. Michelle Mitchell so good over that left shoulder, and she'll draw a pair of free throws. The foul goes on Sharice Williams. It's her second. She has the only 2 Young Harris fouls in this first half. Mitchell to the line, where she is very proficient. 4 subs here for Young Harris. Knight will stay out there, but they'll bring in Scott along with Fan. Robertson comes back, and Jada Williams back in as well. Largest lead of the afternoon for CSU here at 39-27 as Mitchell misses. Just the 9th time she's missed from the foul line this season. 39-27, CSU by 12. Scott's short corner shot, no good. Mitchell grabs another board, and she's going to streak to the other end. Works around Jada Williams, and way too strong. Didn't have the angle right coming off the glass. They invite Jada Williams to shoot it, and she's unable to get it. Mitchell grabs yet another rebound. Mitchell racking up the rebounds in this first half. That was number 6 to go along with her 10 points. Rather 9 points for Mitchell to this point. Tatum thought about it. Shot clock at 5. They've got to get something off. Mitchell will pull up, hit off the front rim, and Knight with the rebound. Matt Steersman not happy with that defensive possession from his team. despite the fact they got to stop. Fan makes the tough catch, working on Morrow, and Washington blocked it. Young Harris wanted a foul. Morrow will tee one up. Too strong. Rebound uncontested for Robertson. So CSU has missed a couple now in a row from downtown. Still 8 for 14 though. Those are numbers that'll win you games. Under 4 to play. Still a 12-point game, 39-27. Knight puts it on the floor, kicks it off. Robertson nearly had her third of the game from downtown. Instead, Mitchell has another rebound. Next whistle will bring us to the final media timeout of this first half. Shot clock to 15. DeShazer left open. And fortunately for the Mountain Lions, that one didn't go through. Didi's already hit 4 times. And Matt Steersman wants timeout as this game hits a little bit of a lull. 2:59 to go. 39-27, CSU in front by 12 as the Lady Cougars try to pick up a 4th consecutive victory. .259 to play in this first half here on Cougar Sports TV. Stephen Williams with you. Game number 1 of 2 on this Saturday afternoon from the Lumpkin Center in Columbus, Georgia. 12-point CSU lead, 52% from the field for the Lady Cougars, 53% from beyond the arc as they cool off a little bit. The shot doesn't go for Fan, up and over Ashley Johnson, who's into the game for the first time, but Young Harris will get a second possession. Johnson out there with Washington, Walker, Cochran, and DeShazer for CSU. Tough shot goes through for Jada Williams. Young Harris in need of a good final 3 minutes to build some momentum before they head to the locker room at halftime. Johnson makes the tough catch, the good dish to Washington, who was ducking underneath. They were able to block Carey's shot, though. Jonathan Norton, beside himself, thought Carey was hit on the arm. Knight trying to thread the needle, threw it too hard, deflected and off of Fan, a turnover for the Mountain Lions. It's been a rather cleanly played first half, just 6 turnovers against Young Harris, 5 against CSU, and there's only been 7 fouls called, so we haven't shot very many free throws either. Just 8 free throws so far. Christine Krukane into the game for Young Harris now, out guarding on the perimeter. DeShazer quickly double teamed on the catch. Guess Young Harris has learned their lesson in this first half. Johnson from the elbow doesn't get it. Washington, the tip follow. Carey Washington adds 2 more, and Jonathan Norton will take his 30-second timeout that he's going to lose if he doesn't, with 94 seconds to go in this first half. 41-29, CSU rolling right along, business as usual for the Lady Cougars. They get set after this one today, a long road trip on Wednesday. They will head to Flagler in St. Augustine, Florida on Wednesday. They'll actually leave on Tuesday morning, go down there, spend the night, and play Wednesday night, and get back in the wee hours of Thursday morning. And then they're back in this building next Saturday. 1:30, 3:30 start time. Georgia Southwestern in town. CSU owns a sweep of Georgia Southwestern in Americus earlier this year, but those were two very tough games. So should be good ones here in this building coming up a week from today as Young Harris throws it away and commits another turnover. Lady Cougars up by 12, a minute 23 to go, and trying to add on before halftime. The scoring pace has slowed a little bit, but CSU is still dominating yet another game on their home floor. Off the screen, Cochran from straight on, bounces up and goes down. Erin Cochran with her second, and that's 9 in this first half for CSU. Underneath, Johnson knocked it away, last touched by CSU as Jonathan Norton getting good minutes out of his bench players as this is a 15-point game. Still a chance for them to get to 50. We'll see if it happens. 55 seconds showing on the clock. The exact opposite pace at which Young Harris wanted to play this game. They get a clean look for Bell, missed the shot off to the right. Williams grabbed the rebound and Cochran committed the foul. CSU had a foul to give though, as that's just number 6 on CSU, first on Cochran. So fresh 30 to work with, 43.8 on the game clock. Inside, they get it to Cash, who just slung it at the rim. Backside board and follow, though, for Chan Fan. Seven seconds, the differential between the shot clock and the game clock, and a bad pass that time by Johnson. Looking for Cochran underneath is CSU's 6th turnover of the first half. Shot clock off, Young Harris with the last possession, should they choose. 13-point game, 44-31. Harrell swings it up top. Knight will penetrate and kick. Harrell from in front of the CSU bench rolls in a 3. Big shot for Young Harris, gets it back down to 10. CSU with the clock running down. Cochran is fouled with 2.4 to go, trying to pass it up top, and CSU will get an opportunity with 2.5 seconds to go. Foul win against Casey Cash, her first, just the third though on the Mountain Lions. Washington and Walker come back in for CSU to get some offensive options on the floor. Shot clock off, 2.5 seconds. Final shot to the Lady Cougars. They throw it over the top looking for Washington. She can't handle it. The heave winds up just short for Harrell, and that's how we'll take it to the locker room at halftime. So a good finish for Young Harris after they fell behind 15. They score the final 5, and they're within 10 at the halftime break. CSU, though, shot the lights out, especially from downtown here in this first half as they hit 9 3-pointers on 16 attempts in half number 1, and they'll take a 44-34 lead into the locker room. Dee DeShazer hit 4 of those. She has 12. 9 for Michelle Mitchell, 6 for Erin Cochran, 6 for Bria Walker, and then scattered from there. 44-34, the way we take it to the locker room at halftime. Lady Cougars searching for a 4th straight victory on top of Young Harris. Stephen Williams back here with you on Cougar Sports TV as we get set for second half action here inside the Frank G. Lumpkin Center, Herbert Green Court in Columbus, Georgia. 44-34. It's Columbus State, the 16th ranked team in the country, on top of Young Harris by 10 as they come back out for the second half. Young Harris, though, scored the final 5 of that first half after CSU had led by as much as 15 late in the first. Lady Cougars go 9 of 16 from downtown in the first half, 17 of 33 from the field, just 1 of 3 from the foul line, though. Lady Cougars didn't get there very often because Young Harris only committed 3 fouls. On the other side, for Young Harris, they were 13 of 33. It's 39%. They were 3 of 8 from downtown and a perfect 5 of 5 from the foul line. Young Harris actually winning the rebounding battle right now. That's not something you see very often with CSU playing, considering they are nearly their rebounding margin, out-rebounding opponents, is nearly 3 times better than anybody else's inside the Peach Belt Conference. So it's odd to see them on the wrong side of a rebounding margin, especially after they out-rebounded Lander by 25 on Tuesday night. CSU doing good work off turnovers, though. They've turned 7 Young Harris turnovers into 14 points. Usually you like to have a 1-to-1 ratio in that. To have a 2-to-1 ratio is absolutely outstanding for Jonathan Norton's crew, and he can owe a lot of that to a good three-point shooting coming off of turnovers. Young Harris is owning the paint, though, not only in the rebound department, but also in the scoring department, outscoring CSU 18-10 on points in the paint. Didi DeShazer with 12 leads all scorers. Michelle Mitchell closing in on a double-double. She has 9 points and 7 rebounds as we get set for second half action here inside the Lumpkin Center. For CSU, it'll be Brittany Tatum, Didi DeShazer, Michelle Mitchell, Ashley Isuzu, and Kerry Washington in the home white uniforms with the red writing and trim. They'll be working left to right as you're looking at it. Young Harris in the road black uniforms. They will go with Daniels along with Harrell, Robertson, and both of the Williamses. 44-34, CSU by 10, looking for consecutive win number 4. Trying to end a 4-game winning streak for Young Harris. See where CSU goes right off the bat. They drop it into Mitchell, and Mitchell easily able to lay it in to put herself into double figures. 11 now for the junior from Eastman, Georgia. Washington with the block from behind. Block the shot of Sharice Williams, and CSU gives it up going the other direction. So unable to capitalize off a Young Harris turnover that time. Robertson and Sharice Williams, the 2 posts for Young Harris, really got going in the first half to start the game. They scored the first 15 Young Harris points. Then they were pretty quiet after that, though. They ended up with just 4 the rest of the way. Washington with another block. Carey had 7 of them on Tuesday. She's the school's all-time leader in block shots. Comes into today with 145 in her 4-year career. Williams' turnaround 3 off the inbounds doesn't go, and Washington has the rebound and draws the foul. Shaquaya Daniels picks up the foul, her first. Carey, though, 145 blocks coming into play this afternoon, and she's added 4 to that total so far. "12-point game, 15 the largest margin at 44-29. Isuzu wants the ball underneath. They don't give it to her, working against this 2-3 zone. Mitchell gets it now. Tatum will line one up, and it fell off to the left. Ashley Isuzu will run it down in the corner. Kicked out up top, and they'll start over with a fresh 30 on the shot clock. Washington posting up on Robertson. Airballed it. Carey nowhere close, but I think they're going to say Robertson tipped it. That would explain why it wasn't anywhere near the rim. 15 on the shot clock. A minute 44 gone in this second half. DeShazer threw it right to Sharice Williams, who took it away from in front of Michelle Mitchell. Harrell for 3, off the rim. Mitchell, the rebound, and she'll run. Carrie Washington off to her left. Mitchell will do it herself, though. Michelle Mitchell with all 4 of CSU's points in the half. It's a 14-point game. Michelle had stretches against Lander on Tuesday where she was a little out of control driving to the rim, but that was the way Lander forces you to play. They play such a fast style that sometimes you play a step faster than you should. Michelle was able to get it under control, though, in the second half and really had a nice day, and she's showing it again here today, that great body control and pace to her game as she drives to the rim. Skip pass. They'll set up DeShazer up top. Dee, the kick out. Tatum puts it on the floor, lost it. Daniels with the steal. Young Harris doesn't have numbers, but they get Harrell a clean look, and the shot's just not falling right now for Harrell from outside, and this one will stay with Young Harris. 3 of 10 for Young Harris in the game from beyond the arc, and Harrell is just 1 for 4. Harrell had a look for a moment. Instead, she'll drive this time. The shot doesn't go, but she will draw a pair of free throws. Foul goes on Ashley Isuzu, who just can't avoid foul trouble today. That's number 3 on her with 17:02 on the clock. Harrell hasn't shot many free throws this season. That was just number 14 on the year for her. But she knocks number 14 and number 15 through. And it's a 48-36 game. Mitchell, the turnaround, blocked. Sharice Williams got a hand on it. Knew Michelle was going over that left shoulder, anticipated it and swatted it away. Williams trying to post up, lost it off her own foot though. Mitchell took it right back. And Michelle's going to split a pair of defenders. Threw up a wild one though and couldn't knock it through. Needed to dish that one off that time. Daniels to the other end, shot +1. Acrobatic shot that time from Shaquaya Daniels. Falls through. The foul goes on Dee DeShazer. It's her first. So a chance now for Young Harris to get it back inside single digits. Unable to do so though. And Young Harris is going to keep possession. Last touch, they say, by the Lady Cougars. And Young Harris a chance to get inside of 10. Fan into the game, as is Cash, along with Knight. Bell out there as well. Harrell, the only Young Harris starter on the floor. CSU dropping into a zone look of its own. Bell gets a 3. Fell off, but right into the hands of Cash, and it's an 8-point game. That ball hit the undersided padding on its way down, threw off Brittany Tatum, who was in position for the rebound, and Cash was in the right spot at the right time. 8-point game now. It's been 14 in the second half. It's been 15 in the first half, and CSU needing to extend it back out. Shot clock to 6. Isuzu bounces around a couple of times. Rebound for Fan. A chance for Young Harris to continue to cut into it. Already in the midst of a 6-0 run, trying to add on. Shot clock to 6 on the other end now. Bell needs to do something with it. Drives around Tatum, drops it off for Fan, and Fan, with the shot clock going off, is fouled by Washington. Foul on Washington is Carey's second, and it'll be Young Harris to the foul line after the timeout. 14:54 to go. Young Harris fighting back. It's only an 8-point game. Young Harris to the foul line after the timeout, and a chance now for the Mountain Lions to make this a 6-point game. If Chan Fan could connect on both of these. Young Harris is 7 of 8 from the foul line in this game. CSU just 2 of 7 from the field in the second half. It was 48-34 as Michelle Mitchell made her second basket of the half. Since then, Young Harris has reeled off 7 straight points. And they've made this a 7-point game. Ashley Johnson in there along with Alexis Woods, as is Aaron Cochran. So new point guard and new post players for CSU. And Johnson throws it away. Turnover number 11 on CSU, and a chance now to get it down to 2 possessions. Young Harris just scrapping and clawing and keeping themselves in the game. Woods defending Fan, shot clock to 9. Fan drives around her and laid it in. 5-point game. The run continues for Young Harris. CSU needs somebody to come up with a basket here. 9-0 Mountain Lion run. Mitchell, they put it in her hands. Mitchell's fall away, gets the soft roll. Michelle Mitchell has all 6 of CSU's points here in the half and puts an end to a 9-0 run. When CSU needs a bucket, that's a pretty good place to go to get one. It's going to be a reach-in foul and not a very strong call. It'll go against Erin Cochran. It'll be her second. 4 on the Lady Cougars. Carrie Washington coming back. Sharice Williams and Virginia Scott coming in for Young Harris. Fan and Harrell will sit. 7-point game. CSU will have to defend for another 30 seconds now. Fresh shot clock. They won't have to defend that long, though, because Sharice Williams took a quick one. Had it fall off. Good rebound, though, in traffic for Jasmine Knight. Scott stuck in a double team. Nearly turned it over, but it was bounced off the foot of Michelle Mitchell. 17 on the shot clock now. And they're going to actually say CSU had possession, so charge it back up to 30. Bell, long 2, tough shot. Backside rebound belongs to Ashley Johnson. CSU will allow that shot all night. 7 minutes gone by. It's a 7-point game. Washington going for Johnson, and Scott read it well, took the pass away, and a jump ball belongs to Young Harris. Good read that time by Virginia Scott. Jumped in the passing lane, intercepted it, tied up, and they'll get the ball back. Bell sits as Jada Williams comes back onto the floor. So both Williams out there with Cash playing along the interior. Kick ball on Cochran, who has been in the passing lane all day. Aaron Morrow back in. Ashley Johnson will sit. So Mitchell, DeShazer, and Washington, a trio of starters for CSU, and the 2 Aarons, Cochran and Morrow. Dribble drive for Young Harris to the corner. Scott, a look from in front of her own bench, and it is a 4-point game. Virginia Scott knocks it down for the first time from outside on the day, and it's a 50-46 game. And Carrie Washington dropped the pass. One-on-one. This will be Knight with Cochran, and with Washington lurking, Knight will dribble it back out top. Underneath, trying to thread it to Cash. Got through everybody, and CSU bailed out for what could have been a chance to make it a one-possession game. Timeout on the floor, 11:58 to go. CSU in for a battle the rest of the way. It's a 4-point game. Lady Cougars in front. Young Harris with some pep in its step. 8 minutes gone by in this second half. 14-point game has turned down to a 4-point game as Young Harris in the midst of a 12-2 run. CSU not getting it done from the field, just 3 of 8 in the half. And they've turned it over a handful of times. Cochran from downtown fell off the front rim into the hands of Morrow. DeShazer drives off for Washington. Good two-man game there, and Kerry Washington becomes the first player not named Michelle Mitchell to score in the second half for CSU. Now the Lady Cougars trying to ramp up the pressure defense up top with Yumika Henry on the floor. Watch Henry just work from sideline to sideline. Cash underneath, gets a clean look. Casey Cash gets it right back to 4. CSU already with 6 turnovers in this second half. They had just 7 in the full 20 minutes of the first. Nearly number 7 there. DeShazer trying to get it off to Washington. The ball was kicked. Matt Steersman applauding his Mountain Lions work here in this second half to this point. Shot clock to 10 now as Cochran goes to work. Stepped through beyond the defender but didn't get the runner to fall. Young Harris a chance now to make it a one-possession game. Look at Cochran fight for it though. And on the floor, it's a jump ball, and CSU will get it back. Good individual effort that time by the freshman from Hiawassee. And she'll come out and get high fives from her teammates. Starters back for CSU. Tatum, DeShazer, Mitchell, Isuzu, and Washington. 4-point game, though, as we near the midway point of the half. Lady Cougars with some work to do to stay perfect on their home floor. They dish it out. Mitchell, this zone starting to cause CSU some problems. Tatum's 3 off the front rim. Rebound tapped into the hands, and Scott tracks it down. Nearly traveled at midcourt, though. Chance to make this a one-possession game. Matt Steersman looking up at the clock, directing traffic as we hit the 10-minute mark. And an offensive foul is going to wipe it out. Foul goes on Virginia Scott. It'll be her first, an illegal screen, and she'll come off in favor of Bell. So Young Harris lets an opportunity slip through its fingers there to make this a one-possession game. CSU lit the scoreboard up in the opening half for 44 points. They've scored just 8 in over 10 minutes of action here in the second half. Things have gone stale. Mitchell from the elbow. Rebound last touched by Sharice Williams, and it'll stay with Columbus State. Jonathan Norton said that this was a feisty, scrappy Young Harris bunch. And that is exactly what CSU is up against at the moment. They get it to Mitchell, drops it underneath. Washington's turnaround, not anywhere close. Young Harris, good defense again, and again they'll have a chance to make this a one-possession game. CSU has not been in many close battles on this floor this season, and they're not going to give up a score there. Washington the block. CSU will run. DeShazer from the corner, much needed 3, and Matt Steersman just pounds the floor in frustration. DeShazer, a badly needed 3 for CSU, her 5th of the day. Bell, tough runner, wow. Off the glass, Brianna Bell, her first points. CSU, though, got the basket when it needed one the most. Now you got to find another. To the corner, DeShazer in the same spot. The catch made her jump for it, though. Tatum's 3, off to the left. Cash doing a nice job rebounding Underneath for Young Harris, grabs another. Cash, that's her 8th to go along with 6 points. Threading the needle, Cash the tough catch, and she's headed to the line. Foul goes against Brittany Tatum. That'll be her 2nd. 5 against CSU, and Cash to the line for 2. Harrell and Knight back in. Robertson will come back for Cash if she can make the 2nd. Tatum will sit for CSU. Ariel Johnson in for the first time. The sophomore out of Sewanee, Georgia, in, seeing her first action. Cash able to hit the 2nd. Makes it a 4-point game once again, and now she'll come out. Robertson back in. Good minutes in the second half, especially for Casey Cash. 5 of her 7 here in this second stanza. Under 8 to go. 4-point game. CSU in a battle with Young Harris. They give it to Mitchell, working about 10 feet out. Shot blocked by Williams, but a foul called. Mitchell to the line after the timeout. 7:39 to go, 55-51. It's a battle here in Columbus. CSU by 4 here on Cougar Sports TV. Stephen Williams back here with you on Cougar Sports TV. CSU being outscored 17-11 in this second half. This second half, much more the pace and flow that Young Harris would like to play at. Lady Cougars shooting just 31% in this second half as Michelle Mitchell at the line to extend the lead to what she's hoping is back out to 6. Mitchell with 16 with one more free throw to come, closing in on what would be a 7th consecutive 20-point game. Now just 3 points away. 17 for Mitchell. It's a 6-point game. 7:35 to go. Mitchell nearly tipped that one away and is able to. Tipped it off the hands of Jada Williams, and CSU will get it back. So Mitchell making plays on both ends. Chance to really gain control back into the hands of Columbus State with a basket here over the top. Washington at the foul line. Off to DeShazer. DeShazer's pass tipped away into the CSU bench. Couple of good shooters on the perimeter for CSU. Johnson to trigger this inbounds. DeShazer the one up top. No true point guard out there though. Johnson gets it. She'll shoot from 15 feet. Her first shot fell off to the side. Rebound for Knight, and she'll run the other way. Without numbers, though, she'll back it out. Now, each chance CSU gets to try to pull this one away here in the last couple of minutes, Young Harris has come up with a stop. and a subsequent score on the other end. Harrell will try again, and again her three just not going down. They outletted to Mitchell, but no numbers, so she'll wait. Mitchell, right elbow, up over Robertson. An easy one for Michelle, gives her 19. 10 in the second half for Michelle Mitchell, who's at her average now. 8-point game, big basket there. Robertson blocked by Isuzu, and then it landed on the back of Robertson, standing out of bounds. Matt Steersman insisting that that's a foul, as the referee tells him to calm down a little bit. .609 to go, and all of a sudden what was a 4-point game, CSU has a chance to make double digits with a score here. They get it again to Mitchell right there at the elbow. That's where this offense has thrived here of late. The kick out, Azuzu's long two doesn't go, and Washington commanding that rebound. Johnson, kick out three, goes down. Huge shot for Ariel Johnson. And it is now an 11-point game. The runner for Scott goes +1. Ariel Johnson called for the foul there as Scott hit the runner off the glass, and she's fouled. She has 11 and a chance to answer the three from Johnson. Good work out of the freshman from Kentucky. Scott now with 12. 8-point game again. Isuzu rifles one underneath, and Washington snatches it out of the air and gets the lay-in. You watch Carey, she's missed some easy ones, easy catches, and then has that one rifled to her and able to make the tough grab, and she will turn it in to 2 points for CSU. 64-54, Lady Cougars back out to a 10-point lead, 5 minutes and 20 seconds from victory number 18. Columbus State back in front by double figures. It's a 10-point game. 64-54, closing in on 5 minutes to go as the Lady Cougars had a good stretch right there. Ariel Johnson with a big three-point shot. Here's a chance for Scott. And that is a three for Virginia Scott. So it's back to 7 as Scott has come up with 6 straight for the Mountain Lions. .64-57, Isuzu, look at the spin move. CSU thought there should have been a foul as Isuzu missed twice. So Young Harris not ready to die just yet. Defense chance coming from over our right shoulder. DeShazer got a hand on it. It got to Knight anyway, and Knight lays it in. 5-point game. These Mountain Lions just won't go away. Right back to Mitchell. It's where they've gone when they needed a basket, and they get another. 7 straight 20-point games for Michelle Mitchell, who now has 21. Bell wide open. Off the back iron. Big miss that time for Young Harris. DeShazer to Washington. Layup falls out. Another easy miss from Carrie Washington. Sometimes you can't quite figure out how it doesn't go through, but somehow she finds a way. Robertson turnaround, 4-point swing, makes it a 5-point game, and Young Harris takes a timeout. So what was going to be a wide open layup for Carrie Washington is a miss and a basket on the other end to get it back to 5. So it goes from a chance to make it 9 back to 5, and Young Harris still alive with 3:28 to go. You can see this Young Harris team much better than that 8-8 record shows. They're 5-4 in Peach Belt Conference play. And I know we're a long way away from this season coming to a close, but if the season ended today, this would be your first round matchup in the Peach Belt Conference tournament right here on this floor the last weekend in February. New format this year. You stay in division for the first round. The West 1 plays West 4, West 2 plays West 3, and they turn into home games for the better seed before they go to one location for the semifinals and finals. And so as of today, this is your 1-4 matchup. Still 10 games left and a lot of things to be decided, and a pair of good teams lurking down there, Georgia College and Georgia Southwestern, a couple of games out of that 4th spot. But if it ended today, this is who would be going against each other. 3:28 to go. Men's half of the doubleheader to follow this one. CSU searching for its first victory over Young Harris as Peach Belt Conference foes in game number 2. Game of teams headed in opposite directions. Cougar men have won 7 in a row. Mountain Lion men have lost 7 in a row. So CSU looking to make it 8 straight when this one's done. Lady Cougars have some work to do, though. This one a battle to the end. 5-point game with just over 3 minutes to go. Brittany Tatum back out there running the point for CSU with its starters back on the floor. A Suzu runner off the glass. Asuzu looked like she wanted to pass at first. Then they gave her an opening. She took it, makes it a 7-point game. All the way to the rim. Sharice Williams missed in close, and Carrie Washington has the rebound. A stop and a score would be huge now to pair together for CSU. Knight defending Tatum all the way around the floor. See if they can get DeShazer loose. Mitchell steps in, had her shot blocked again. Shot clock did reset, and now it's going to be a timeout called by CSU. Matt Steersman saying that the ball was bouncing there. But the timeout was granted anyway for Jonathan Norton. 68-61, 21 for Michelle Mitchell, 15 for Dee DeShazer. As CSU tries to finish this one off, the Lady Cougars are perfect. 7-0 in this building this season. They've only played one game that was within 10 points on this floor, and that was the most recent one last Saturday against Georgia Regents. That was a 6-point game. Mitchell, jump stop in the lane, fell off. Rebound, last touched by CSU, back into the hands of Young Harris, so they get the stop they needed. 2:14 to go. Young Harris needs baskets. 7-point game. 68-61, Lady Cougars. Matt Steersman directing traffic. Shot clock down to 12. CSU hedges high off the screen. Bell drives right. Threw it into traffic. Williams, basket and one. That ball fell somehow into the hands of Sharice Williams. Tatum commits the foul, her third. And Williams a chance to make this a 4-point game. And she will do so, and Matt Steersman will take a timeout. So CSU had played good defense, but all of a sudden it falls into the arms of Williams. She lays it in, gets the foul, and it's a 4-point game. We watched the Lady Cougars in a tight game on Tuesday knock down free throws when they needed to, despite not being a very good free throw shooting team. Will they have to do that tonight? It looks like they will have to knock down some free throws at some point, and there's a foul. They'll start that process now. Not a bad decision here from Matt Steersman, because his team was only committed now 4 fouls with that one. So they've got to foul several times before they start sending CSU to the line. So you would imagine if they did it then, they're going to do it 3 more times and try to get to the 1-and-1. And Michelle Mitchell is standing on the baseline as Tatum lost it. Young Harris gets it back. So the pressure in the backcourt forces a turnover. Young Harris basketball, 1:46 to go. Mountain Lions just will not go away. CSU has just 24 points in this second half. Shot clock to 12. They get it to Knight up top with 8. She'll kick to the side. Williams a 3. Rolled out. Offensive rebound, and it's lost by Bell. CSU has it back now, and Young Harris likely needs to foul again, and they will. Bell called for the foul. It's her first. That's 5, so they need to do it 2 more times. Knight will commit the foul. That'll be number 6. So now the next one will start the free throw shooting process for CSU. CSU now going to its free throw shooting lineup as Cochran comes in. Brittany Tatum, the point guard for this team, not a great free throw shooter. And so they get Aaron Cochran in there, who is a better three-point free throw shooter. It's stolen, though, by Knight. Knight to the rim. It's a 2-point game. Isuzu turned it over. Knight got the layup, and it's a 2-point game. CSU has not executed well down the stretch, and Young Harris is as close as it's been since the beginning of this game. Lady Cougars making everyone in this building sweat it out down the stretch. This has not been great execution by CSU as they are now getting ready, if they can get it in bounds, to try to hold off the Mountain Lions. Young Harris doesn't have to foul now. CSU does have to get it across midcourt. They'll do so, and Mitchell nearly lost it. No need for Young Harris to foul because it's a one-possession game. They get it to Mitchell. 10 on the shot clock, 36 on the game clock. Mitchell drives, drops it off. Washington missed another easy one underneath. Young Harris basketball. Mitchell created a perfect opportunity for Kerry Washington, who could not lay it in. And Young Harris has a chance to tie or take the lead. 29 seconds to go. Shot clock off. You can hear the defense chants coming throughout the arena. Knight drives, shot up, doesn't go down, and she stole it away from Washington, and Kerry fouled her. Knight got a good look on the first opportunity, didn't get it to go. Kerry Washington had the rebound. Knight ripped it away from her, and Knight fouled on the follow, will go to the line. Knight just a 48% free throw shooter though. She needs both to tie and can't knock the first one down. 9.3 seconds to go. Knight to make it a 1-point game. Knocks the second one through, and Jonathan Norton is going to take a timeout. It is a 1-point game, 68-67, the tightest game the Lady Cougars have played by far this season. 9.3 seconds to go. Young Harris trying to spring the upset. They're going to call a timeout to balance out the timeout called, to back up the timeout by CSU. Lady Cougars, though, with 9 seconds to go, need to get this ball in bounds. They need to possess it well, and they're going to have to go make free throws. And regardless of making both free throws or not, it's going to be a one-possession game when Young Harris gets the basketball back. You look down the list for CSU, and they're not all great free throw shooters. Dee DeShazer is sitting at 67%. Brittany Tatum, the point guard, is just 46% from the foul line. Michelle Mitchell is where you want to get it if you're CSU. She is 86% from the line. Ashley Isuzu is 64%, and Kerry Washington is just 50%. So CSU, who only shoots it at 59%, rather 60% as a team, having to sweat this one out as Young Harris has made a lot more plays than CSU down the stretch here, as the Lady Cougars have been unable to make layups and have turned the basketball over on numerous occasions. CSU has now turned it over 15 times. It's Knight, Bell, Scott, Robertson, and Sharice Williams out there in black for Young Harris. For CSU, it'll be Isuzu, Washington, Mitchell, Tatum, and DeShazer, the starting five. Isuzu will trigger the inbounds. You know they want to get it into the hands of Michelle Mitchell. Mitchell being guarded by Scott. They get it to Washington, who gets it back to Isuzu. They have to foul. CSU playing keep away, and they'll get it to Kerry Washington with 4.7 to go. They ran off nearly 5 seconds, and now you're going to send Kerry Washington to the line for two. Kerry, obviously not the pick you'd like to have going to the line here, but she has got to make a big one here on the front end. Calm and collected, Kerry Washington hits the first. Does she have a second one to make it a 3-point game? She does. Kerry Washington walks to the free throw line and hits a pair of free throws. It is unbelievable the growth that she has made during her career as a free throw shooter at CSU, that they can give her the ball in a late game situation and she can hit a pair of big free throws. CSU searching for its fourth straight victory, trying to end this winning streak of 4 that Young Harris is on. The Mountain Lions will have 4.7 seconds to try to tie this game. They need a 3. If you're CSU, no fouls. 70-67. CSU will pressure in the backcourt to slow them down. Knight with it. Clock running out. They'll heave for the tie. Bell for the tie. It's long, and CSU hangs on. Bell got a clean look, but the shot was way too strong, and CSU is 18-1. Strong, valiant effort from Young Harris, but CSU down the stretch hit 2 big free throws with Kerry Washington there and did just enough to fight off Young Harris to get to 18-1 on the season. Michelle Mitchell finishes with 21 points. That is 7 straight 20-point games for her. 15 for Dee DeShazer on 5 made 3-pointers. Kerry Washington, though, with maybe the 2 biggest points. 2 free throws gives her 10 points on the day to go along with 7 rebounds and 4 blocks, and she helped ice it down the stretch. Lady Cougars 18-1, and now they get set to take on Flagler on the road on Wednesday. For Young Harris, Virginia Scott finished with 15. Sharice Williams finished with 12. Handful of points scattered throughout across the board in all places for Young Harris. 70-67, a thriller in game number 1 here on our 2-game doubleheader on this Saturday afternoon as we get set for game number 2. The Cougar men going for an 8th straight victory against Young Harris, who tries to snap a 7-game skid. CSU wins its 4th in a row. They hang on by the skin of their teeth, and they are now 18-1 on the season, 9-1 in Peach Belt Conference play. We'll step away for a few moments. Come back with your second game of your doubleheader here on Cougar Sports TV. Your final from game 1, CSU improves to 18-1 on the season as they knock off Young Harris 70-67.